Tim Burton hit the ground running with the shrunken head guys.
I don't know what her problem is. Normally chicks.
That was one of the most fun aspects of it, really.
The shrinkers were in the original, or a shrink was in the original. There's something brilliant in its simplicity. There's something strange. So this time we decided that we'd bring them back. We didn't want to change them very much at all. They were just too good to change.
Tim always loved them and wanted them to have more of a character in this movie. And in the script phase, Beetlejuice was running a boiler room and they had to be workers in there.
He's taken his bioexorcism business and it's almost like a Glengarry Glen Ross kind of boiler room. We thought, wouldn't it be funny if they were all shrinkers that you couldn't understand? That's Beetlejuice's crew of people.
Well, I don't know, maybe it's working in a lot of offices and having a lot of jobs. That represents certain kind of workforce that I've been a part of that just felt natural to me.
Now, Bob, stand up and talk to your troops.
Okay, everybody, back to work.
Bob became a character in himself, and then we just started developing their attitude and their characters and their backstory.
More is more sometimes.
Yeah.
And just to have more of those guys is just like hilarious. The puppetry and the visualization is just so fun.
Because it's all practical. It's all practical.
That's the thing. I don't think people realize why they like it. They don't consciously know that there's that feeling that, somebody actually made it, like handmade it.
I think if you were doing it with any other director, it would be like, okay, we're going to put little blue ping pongs on their head, and then we'll digitally go in and put shrinker heads on.
There was a lot of people at the beginning that thought we were going to be in full CG characters, and Tim really never wanted to go there.
There's an energy to that and a spontaneousness to it. I mean, even though we're dealing with live effects, we're still kind of making it up as we went along.
Getting a grip of the sheer volume of what we would have to produce was exciting and daunting at the same time.
They're all individual. They've got all their different hairstyles. They've got all their different expressions. A lot of thought went into their lips. Are we going to paint that on? Are we going to actually have practical stitching? They're just so full of character, aren't they?
Tim can be incredibly detailed. It was like, no, make the eyes go like, yes, perfect, now this way. Literally every movement was Tim.
The shrinkers were made, I think, very much in the way they made the original. And that became the foundation for what we did.
First, we get in some undergarments, and then I put some padding on. And there's some big shoulder pads which hide my head. And then we get the lovely Beetlejuice costume over the top. And then I wear an animatronic shrunken head bob on top of my head.
The costume department did a tremendous job in redefining the anatomy using slightly larger shoulders, slightly larger collars. There's a brilliant sort of massaging of the human form in order to make them feel like literally they are sitting on someone's shoulders, not on someone's head.
Well, I think my collaboration with Tim over the years has sort of evolved in the sense that we have an unspoken language that we do. Now we kind of laugh about it because there's sort of a predictability. For both of us, it's a great way to work, and we enjoy making things together.
And that's why it was very important for us to get Colleen Atwood on board. We really love how Colleen was inspired to base the shrinkers' costumes on classic Century 21 realtor uniforms from the 1970s. So yes, the shrinkers are the top sales agents in the afterlife.
We then just needed to figure out, how does one perform?
It's about being very focused and specific about the movements you do make. So it's micro movements that complement the performance of the RC. So it's little things like that. So just think about the head bobs and stuff like that, your head turns.
We used people who were of sub 6 foot height, so more in the sort of 5'7" to 5'8" heights. That means that the height of a shrinker is about 6'1", something like that. Particularly, Tim wanted to get them off the sofa and get them walking.
What are they going to be doing? There's going to be a shrink on a bike. How are we going to get someone to ride a bike? Is it going to be a stuntman? How are they going to see? Does that arm move there? It's all trial and error. And then when you get it, you know you've got it. You know it looks good.
To get one shrinker to work on set, you have 4 people per shrinker, and then you have safeties and stunts.
You gotta come down like...
The day we had like 12 of them run down the stairs was really interesting and fun. We kept pushing and pushing the boundaries with them.
They're completely blind. They can't see because obviously they're looking out the lapel or the front of their jackets.
It's about staying all together and creating that chaos. So
There was so much choreography involved and timing because they're not claymation, they're not CGI, they're people.
And 3, 2, 1, action!
To be in that and just to watch them all rushing toward you, you feel like you're in this like wonderfully weird dream.
You'd end up chatting to that little head on top of the actor, as opposed to the performer that was in his chest. And the puppeteers soon cottoned on to this and would start, you know, making that little shrinker express as you're kind of chatting away, and you'd lose yourself in it.
I hope people can see how well practical effects can work.
Hello, Atlanta! We were allowed to kind of run mad with it.
It feels really old school.
It's theatre happening in front of you.